last time Bo Levi Mitchell faced the Ticats, he was done by halftime. The Stamps in such a big lead, they didn't need him after that. His record as a CFL starter is 55-8-2. His Stamps close to wrapping up first in the West again. The last time they faced the Cats, though, Jeremiah Masoli was not Hamilton's starting QB, and this has been a different team since he took over the reins. 4-2 since their 0-8 start, and still a slight chance of making the CFL playoffs if they keep winning. Welcome to Friday Night Football, doubleheader night in the CFL on TSN. Rod Smith along with the panel of Milt Stiegel and Matt Dunnigan as we begin Week 17. Yeah, it's getting late, and there are playoff spots up for grabs. In fact, some things could be decided over the next 2 days, including the fate of the Tiger Cats. Now, the last time they played Calgary, Milt, they were embarrassed in Week 6. 60-1, one of the worst beatdowns ever. How much does that weigh on the mind of the Cats as they come into this game tonight?
Well, this is a different team. Different head coach, different quarterback, just a different team. But let this team get down early to Calgary, and it will weigh in on this team. Not only that will weigh in, but the fact that Bo Levi Mitchell has never lost to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the fact that they haven't beaten Calgary since 2011, all that will just come in and weigh on them like a big bear on their back.
Yeah, but this is a different football team than the game we saw, 60-1 beatdown. There's Andy Fantus's lineup, Jeremiah Masoli's quarterback,
Brandon Banks is
actually played receiver. Yes, and you know, the Chambers is on the lineup. Defensively, you've got Odiasi there. You've got Kane playing strong side linebacker. This football team is taking on a different mindset, and I think that may erase that 61 debacle that we saw earlier in the football season. And certainly, I like their chances tonight. At home, I do. I think this is a big statement for them. And they're fighting for the playoff lives, right?
This is a playoff game.
They want to control their own destiny.
This is a playoff game for them.
They can't lose this because then they lose their destiny, and it's in somebody else's hands, and Ottawa's got to lose, and it's not a good situation. I think they're going to take care of business.
The fact that they started off 0-8 near this position right now,
well, that
says a lot.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
You guys said it. Now, if they lose tonight, they need the Red Blacks later tonight, part 2 of our doubleheader in Saskatchewan to lose, or else Hamilton's done. But any other scenario, the Ticats do still have a chance, and they do control their fate. It starts with a little payback after 60-1 in Calgary. The mighty Stampeders are in town. Friday Night Football kickoff coming up.
It's an embarrassing score. It's something we all want to forget.
Stamps have put up points today on offense, on defense, on special teams. We're barely 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, look at yourself in the mirror, starting with you, and hope the whole entire group does it.
They've hardly had any drives. Might be one of the most lopsided games in CFL history. Thank you, Rod. Bring it in, Canada. Here we go. Week 17. Some Friday night football. Friday the 13th. Friday night football. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Not sure how many lives these Cats have left, but they're clinging right now, and the Calgary Stampeders have won 10 in a row.
And the Calgary Stampeders starting to get healthy, getting some bodies back in the lineup. Kamar Jordan, a guy who was leading the league in receiving when he was injured against these Ticats back in July, makes his return for the stretch run. Another guy who got injured in that game, he's been back in the Cats lineup for a couple weeks at the nickel linebacker spot. Number 14, Abdul Kane.
June Jones, who has come in over the last month and a half as the head coach, told us yesterday, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And the Calgary Stampeders, there is no doubt right now, they're the class of the CFL, 12-1-1, and Dave Dickinson still not satisfied. Said they can get better, particularly in the red-green zone area. Inside that 20-yard line. It's almost hard to believe, but that's what happens when you are a perfectionist and you are winning.
Has always been certainly a details guy, as you see Patrick Levels back deep, Roy Finch out of that lineup.
And a new kicker for Hamilton, Sergio Castillo, gone with a torn ACL, so they brought in Michigan Wolverine Kenny Allen. Big guy, big kicker, big foot. His CFL debut tonight. Terry Williams mush down near the 25-yard line, and Bo Levi Mitchell, who only played a half of football back on July 29th on week 6 in that 60-1 demolition.
Yeah, I suspect the Calgary Stampeders are going to need a little more work out of Mitchell this week. Coming off that bye, should be fresh for the stretch run. Talking to Bo yesterday, he of course suggested he wants to play right to the end. He doesn't even want to be in a position where they're resting guys down the stretch. He wants competitive games all the way home.
Jerome Messam back in the backfield after missing a week and got the bye week as well. A well-rested team, and they go gunning right away, and Marquay McDaniel hauls in the first pass from Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah, and McDaniel, such a reliable member of that receiving corps, has helped bring along guys like Kamar Jordan and Markin Michel, who of course has emerged in Jordan's absence along the offensive line. Brad Erdos has had a nice season at that right guard spot, really solidified that spot after doing spot duty the last couple of years as the Stamps have had so many injuries along the offensive line.
Second down and 1. They bring in the short yardage unit, including Calgary's Andrew Buckley. Looks like he successfully got that. There is a penalty flag down. Our referee tonight here at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton is Andre Proulx. Beautiful night here for football. 18 degrees. Feels like 23. Hardly any wind tonight. That's good news. A little confusion down here. Looks like it is a first down. The referees wearing the pink tonight, the pink flags.
After review by the video official, there's no offside on the play. The result of the play is a first down for Calgary. First down.
There is an area where Calgary, surprisingly, has struggled this year, is second down conversions. They're second last in the league on second downs, which is a complete anomaly statistically, but they get it there. Bo Levi Mitchell back in shotgun with Jerome Messam staying into block, and Mitchell goes downtown right away, and McDaniel can't haul it in. Watched by the ball hawk, Richard Leonard, who's had an outstanding season, his first in Hamilton.
Well, we take a look at the Ticats defense now. Adrian Tracy has moved into that starting spot at defensive end following the John Chick trade. Supplying some added pressure off the edge. Simone Lawrence, one of their leaders in that linebacking core, didn't play the last time these two teams met, so certainly Ticats hoping he'll have a big impact. You mentioned Richard Leonard spent the first part of this season playing the field corner. He's now moved inside to halfback.
Likely see a lot of McDaniel tonight as Mitchell rolls out. He's got his man, and wide open making the catch is Jaron Breskison, and Breskison was wide open on an island down near the 35-yard line. A huge gain on second down as Bo Levi Mitchell moves the pocket and finds his target.
Well, what you're seeing is Richard Leonard, a guy in his first Canadian Football League season. As I said, he's moved from corner to halfback. You now don't have the sideline cutting down the amount of space you have to cover. It's a little different dealing with those slots in motion as well.
Bo goes over the top, and for the first time in quite some time, Kamar Jordan makes a catch. Jordan was out of the Stamps lineup for the last 8 weeks, played the first 6 games, and was their go-to guy until he got hurt.
Yeah, a guy who was really enjoying a breakout season with the Stampeders, a guy who's been around, another one of those guys they've had the luxury of bringing along slowly, having really only played a handful of games until the stretch run last year, and has really established himself as a premier threat here in 2017.
Second down and 5. Mitchell at work again. End zone, and try to stretch out for it was Kamar Jordan before he left for the injury and the rehab. Had 3 touchdowns and was their key second down contributor, just past his outstretched fingertips this time.
Yeah, really nice route run there by Kamar Jordan against his old teammate Sagi Odiasi, who's in at halfback for the Tiger Cats. Nice job getting the defender's hips turned, but just unable to reach that ball.
Rene Paredes, no wind here tonight. This comes from the 36. Paredes has made his last 18 in a row, but not this time. The streak ends, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats, nobody back in the end zone, will give up the point. Had Paredes run down there, might have been able to retrieve that. There was nobody back. 1 point on the board on the miss by Paredes, and this miss just barely by Kamar Jordan. The tonight. First series for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Offensively, Rene Paredes missing the field goal attempt, 1-0. Jeremiah Masoli, who did not play, did not start in the last meeting in week 6 when the Cats were crushed 60-1. Masoli's been good the last few weeks, and he goes gunning down the sideline, and Brandon Banks is out of bounds.
Well, this has been a little bit of a theme for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in recent weeks.
Yes, it has.
Has taken that deep shot down the sideline to Brandon Banks right out of the gate. First series, there it is, against the Toronto Argonauts. Quick hitch, and away he goes, and then the double move against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers last weekend.
Now second down, the Cats last in the league on second down conversions. Long throw, and it'll be a quick 2 and out. Looking for Banks again, who's become the weapon since June Jones took over. But another 2 and out, and this Hamilton team through the year that started 0-8, gone 4-2 under June Jones, are also dead last in the CFL with the most 2 and outs. Now they're 79th on the season. So the first punt for Kenny Allen, and it's blocked. It is blocked by Terry Williams, who scoops it, and they score. The Calgary Stampeders, William Langlois has scored.
Well, great start for Mark Killam's special teams unit. Terry Williams, of course, having an opportunity to get on and stay on the roster with Jerome Messam coming back, but an injury to Roy Finch.
That's a running back, folks, coming in on specials, and William Langley has the touchdown.
When you can create that short a line to the punter for a guy who's one of the fastest guys on the field, and Terry Williams, he's not rushing off the edge where it's a longer distance. This is coming right up the middle. A-gap for Terry Williams, shortest line to the punter. No question, he's going to get there every time. Ticats need to clean that up in a hurry.
Well, what a debut, unfortunately, for Kenny Allen. His first punt attempt is blocked. Paredes, who struggled on one point after, the convert is good this time. And this start already for Calgary, reminiscent of week 6. Kenny Allen's first punt attempt blocked by Terry Williams. William Langley has his first CFL touchdown. Prominently a special teams player, William Langley converted O-lineman to fullback back in Sherbrooke University, a third-round pick of the Stampeders. Johnny on the spot here.
Well, you'll see Terry Williams is lined up right in that A-gap, but keep an eye on the Hamilton deep back on the left side of your screen, left side of the hash. He bails out to block out wide. You got to check inside out. You've got to protect against the inside rusher first, because as I said, that's a shorter line. They let the inside rusher come free. He had no one to pick up on the outside. Easy block for Williams. And congratulations to William Langley on his first career touchdown.
Here's Willie Quinn. Little package of dynamite, just 5 feet 5 inches. Only his second game with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Bring their offense back on the field, and already this is starting to resemble their last meeting. Cats have to find an answer quickly here.
Well, they sure do, and we've talked about the speed in this offense. The June Jones, the role Brandon Banks has played. Of course, Jalen Saunders, another guy who has emerged nicely here in his first year with the Cats. Keep an eye on Brandon Revenberg at left guard. Second-year man, the number 3 overall pick back in 2016, has really settled in as a full-time starter this season.
Sully almost made the Stamps jump there. Here they come with some heat, and he's swinging it out. Shamad Chambers has the catch, the former Edmonton Eskimo. Close to a first down, may have about 6 or 7.
And Stamps defense, of course, this defensive line, the strength of their unit. Jagarrett Davis has been a force coming off that edge opposite Charleston Hughes. Shaq Richardson had an interception for a touchdown the last time these two teams met. Watch for Tommy Campbell. Shutdown man at corner.
This guy did not play as well last time they met. Alex Green, who had made C.J. Gable expendable in Hamilton. Gable, of course, traded to the Edmonton Eskimos, so it's going to be 3rd and short here. See how short it is. Looks like it's a little less than a yard for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, close enough that even given the field position inside their own 40, it's a no-brainer for the Ticats to go for this one.
Basically stretch out for this. Just have to get inside the 39-yard line to move the sticks. Solely the former Oregon Duck behind center will get the first down. Jeremiah Masoli has had good, solid 3 weeks of football. No interceptions and very good last week.
Yeah, he sure was. Terrific day for Masoli. Getting it done with both his arm and his legs. His calm presence has been a big part of the Tiger Cats' turnaround. 4-2 record. June Jones as head coach, coinciding, of course, with Jeremiah Masoli taking over as the starting quarterback.
Zach Collaros on the sideline as the backup. There goes Shamon Chambers once more, looking for a couple blocks, spinning his way. And Chambers knows Calgary well, part of that Battle of Alberta, of course, when he was with the Eskimos. His second catch. It'll be second down, likely a throwing down again for the Cats here.
We mentioned Zach Collaros on the sideline, survived trade deadline day.
Were you surprised?
I wasn't, to be honest with you. I think that there's still a market,
because there was a lot of scuttlebutt.
Yeah, certainly a lot of rumors out there, but I think that should the Ticats continue to move forward with Jeremiah Masoli as their starting quarterback, Collaros is a guy who will still draw some interest in the offseason.
Still one of the team captains on the field. Masoli down the rail here, and Jalen Saunders. Are they saying it's in? They are. They're saying that's a catch.
I think even Jalen Saunders was a little surprised when they called him in here.
Down near the 32-yard line. That's not even close. That's not even close. And Dave Dickinson may use his challenge flag. Just one challenge here. He's using that challenge flag, and you know he doesn't want to use that challenge flag.
And this is where I'm going to make my point about the video replay official. They have the power to do so many things with it.
They did it earlier tonight.
And use it to wave off an offside call.
But they can't.
A little offside call. A big play that's clearly incorrect, and it's not being used.
And Dave Dickinson cannot use that video challenge again for the rest of the game because that call was completely blown. Jalen Saunders way out of bounds here. Call on the field will be overturned. Well, this one is really a no-brainer. Andre Proulx with the verdict, and it will be overturned on the field.
After review, the receiver cut the football out of bounds. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. It's going to be second down and 5 from the 44-yard line.
So I hear you about the video review, which was used earlier. The eye in the sky, and the game does move fast. The other one is about the video challenge and going to one challenge. Do you not think that perhaps a rule should be in place, particularly in the first half, if you use your challenge and you win the challenge, you still get another one?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something that has been talked about, and I think if you're going to continue with instant replay review, then something that has to be considered. I mean, when a coach has to use his only challenge to correct a call like that, and if the call's wrong, that's not the coach's fault.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Tunde Adeleke played his university ball at Carleton and has had 2 punt return touchdowns. No Roy Finch in the lineup here tonight. Speaking of later tonight, the Ottawa Redblacks, who are watching this game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Coming up next, Week 17 continuing. Doubleheader from Mosaic. Hamilton lost here tonight, and Ottawa win. And the Ticats would officially be eliminated. Hamilton Hamilton wins here, can somehow pull off a shocker, then it makes it very interesting over the next few weeks. Cats down 8-0 early. Jerome Messum's first touch is the big guy. Had a bye week and missed the game before that and comes back home.
Yeah, Brampton, Ontario native. So less than an hour away from Tim Hortons Field. There you see the 2017 rushing race. Jerome Messum once again finds himself on top. We'll make note of two Canadians in the top three, which has kind of become the norm in recent years here in the CFL.
Second down and 6. Play action. Ball going deep once more to Markin Michel. Trying to jump over top, and there's a late flag. Interference call coming up against Cariel Brooks, who went one-on-one. Kind of looked like he shielded Michel as he was coming back to that football. Bo Mitchell also took a shot.
Defensive pass interference. Hamilton, number 26. First down at point of foul. Calgary.
And there you see, it's just the fact that Brooks runs into him. Michel has no opportunity to try and work back to the football.
42 yards on that penalty to the 35. Bo looking over the top. Nobody there. Marquay McDaniel went the wrong way, and Mitchell was being harassed once more. Tough to stay in the pocket tonight for Bo Levi Mitchell's. Had to roll out a couple times against this Hamilton team that is third in the league in sacks.
And there you see Justin Capicotti. He'll be coming off one edge. One of the guys that's made a big difference, and the guy that will have that effect of forcing Mitchell out of the pocket. Of course, Davon Coleman has been a terrific presence in the middle of that defensive line for Hamilton.
Daniel was in motion. Bo now is going down. There's Davon Coleman for the first sack of the night.
Davon Coleman channeling Carlton Banks.
Yes.
And you watch the spin move here to the outside. Pressure inside, spin out. And through he goes. This is a guy in college was a defensive end. A lot like Micah Johnson for the Calgary Stampeders. Guys who sort of outgrow, particularly by CFL standards, that defensive end position, but still have the quickness.
Rob Mayberg trying to keep this away from Brandon Banks. It's going to be inside the 15-yard line. It's a penalty flag down. We'll sort it out when we come back. 8-0 Stampeders on Friday Night Football from the Hammer.
Welcome back to Tim Hortons Field, where the Calgary Stampeders lead the Hamilton Tiger Cats 8-0. Now, we know so much about Bo Levi Mitchell and that winning record, but the fact is, when he started his college career at Southern Methodist University, he had some struggles. And who was his coach there? Well, it was June Jones. When we spoke to both of them yesterday, the one thing Bo Levi Mitchell said is how much he appreciated June Jones, and June Jones says he appreciates Bo Levi Mitchell the same.
When I first got to SMU, I was given the starting job, and I was cocky and big-headed, and I thought the world was mine. And I think that's where my success and my understanding on how to win comes from, is how much I failed at SMU. It's not in the hands of June Jones or why that happened. I just kind of went out there and did my own thing. I always thank June for giving me that chance, giving me that opportunity to come in and be a guy, but I do credit a lot of my success to the failures I had at that school.
Bo Levi Mitchell, who transferred to Eastern Washington and then won a championship with the Eagles, played in the Inferno, that red turf there, became a Walter Payton Award winner. Failure leading to success. Brandon Banks still unable to haul one in here, and this is a long field and a big play on second down coming up for June Jones Cats.
Yeah, one of the things that Bo Mitchell talked about in terms of that appreciation that Matthew mentioned he has for June Jones, his former coach, was just his approach. And I think as fans have noticed here in Hamilton, certainly the players have noticed here in Hamilton, not a guy who's a yeller and screamer. I mean, he'll be a matter of fact with you when you make mistakes, but not a guy who does it in a harsh way. Good teacher. Mitchell learned a lot of lessons, he said.
Four-man rush. Masoli now has to move and dances out of the pocket and throws it to Banks. One-on-one now, and Brandon Banks, the biggest play for the Cats up near the 40. Well, we've always talked about June Jones and the run and shoot. As Brandon Banks has told us, it's also the read and release.
And in this case, Brandon Banks reading where his quarterback's going on the scramble. And this one, from our vantage point, actually looked for a minute like it was going to be a pick six in the hands of Ciante Evans. But just over his outstretched hands, dropped in perfectly to Banks along that sideline for a Ticat first down.
Brandon Banks, the biggest beneficiary of the coaching change. June Jones seeing a lot of football. Now a hitch screen out to Jalen Saunders. Ciante Evans hammers him up near the 44-yard line.
Evans, a guy who's really solidified himself in that Calgary Stampeders secondary this season.
Second down and 7. There's that rush again. Little screen now to Alex Green. Green fights his way and stopped eventually by Alex Singleton. So they'll be about 3 yards short. And they'll bring out this punt unit that has already had a kick blocked. Kenny Allen back out on the field here.
It should be a relatively easy fix in terms of the protection scheme for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Just to pick it up off the turf. Adeleke. Tunde Adeleke in full sprint here. Nice return. Well, you heard Bo Levi Mitchell talking about what June Jones did for him, and June Jones has been watching his former protege from SMU.
Of all the guys that have gone and been successful in the CFL, Bo's the only one that listened to me, that I called and said, Bo, don't waste your time going to the National Football League. You need to go to Canada. You will shoot the lights out. And he was the only one that ever did. Chad Owens went to the NFL, Jagarrett, Taylor Reed, everybody that I had, Solomon Aluminium. I told all those guys to go to the CFL first. Of course, Bo was the only one that listened, so I'm glad he's got all those championships.
Well, you got to listen to June Jones. Now, Bo Levi Mitchell listened well. It's one thing to listen. It's another thing to perform, execute, and win. And since he's come to the CFL, Bo Levi Mitchell has won more than any other quarterback since 1950.
Yeah, pretty alarming rate. And to me, it's that combination, two big sky grads. Bo Levi Mitchell from Eastern Washington, of course, his head coach, Dave Dickinson, from the University of Montana.
Mitchell again slinging. And trying to run underneath it is Brescacin, who cannot. So a good return by Tunde Adeleke, and that will stop the drive here. Here is what Bo Levi Mitchell has done. All-time quarterback records, 55-8-2 over his 5 seasons. Really 4 full seasons here. It's crazy.
Well, you look at Bo Mitchell, Doug Flutie, of course, ran up a lot of that record during his time in Calgary, topped it up with his last couple of years in Toronto as well. Dave Dickinson, Calgary, and BC.
Bo Levi Mitchell, by the way, has never lost to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, 8-0. The little guy, Willie Quinn, trying to burst outside and trapped down from behind by Jameer Thurman. Got a feeling something good can happen around this little guy, Willie Quinn. at a Southern university. Just 5 feet 5 inches. Brandon Banks said, I can call him Shorty.
Yeah, not something Brandon Banks can say to a lot of people, but this is the guy brought in to take the pressure off Brandon Banks as he's become more important in that offensive game plan. They needed somebody else to pick up the slack as a returner. Willie Quinn, dynamic speedster.
36 NCAA touchdowns. Alex Green carves his way close to a first down, which is tough to do against this Calgary defense. Everybody talks about Bo Levi Mitchell and the offense, but they have been so dominant defensively this year. One of the reasons why they've won 10 in a row.
Well, certainly it is a team that doesn't spend a lot of time playing from behind. Creates opportunities for that front four to tee off in terms of the pass rush. We've talked before, particularly about the trio, Micah Johnson, Charleston Hughes, and Jagarrett Davis, among the league leaders in sacks.
Second and short, Alex Green again. Alex Green, who, like June Jones, had some time in Hawaii with the Warriors, but did not play for June, who was the coach at one time in Hawaii. Chad Owens and Solly Elamimian under him there. June Jones has been around. Of course, was a former quarterback in the Canadian Football League at one time.
Yeah, spent some time with the Toronto Argonauts under his former college coach. Daryl Mouse Davis was the offensive coordinator of the Argos in the early 80s under Bob Obilovich.
Thus began the run and shoot offense. Now Brandon Banks trying to shoot outside. Lunging forward, and there's a penalty flag. We'll have to see what this is. Final play of the quarter. Will they have one more play after this penalty, or will we change sides and go to the second?
Yeah, it looked like there might have been a block from behind or a hold along the sidelines.
Hamilton, number 83, 10-yard penalty. We're going to replay the down. One more play.
Again, quarter cannot end on a penalty, so they'll redo this.
You see Andy Fantuz trying to lead block. Little horse collar block by Fantuz on Evans.
Andy hasn't been doing a lot of blocking over the season here, just his third game back, recovering from the knee injury, of course, last year, and it's so good to see one of the great Canadian receivers of all time back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, one of the great receivers, period, is Andy Fantuz.
Little wing formation here. Tight end on the line, and Masoli goes over the top. And once again, he and Brandon Banks got a little something going. Final play, opening quarter. Hamilton Tiger Cats give up 8, but remember the last time they played, they gave up 60 the whole game. 7 came on that play. Cats try to shock the Stamps tonight on Friday Night Football. Calgary Stampeders, who have been seemingly invincible this season, just 1 loss, 1 tie, 10 wins in a row, 11 straight wins against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, have an 8-0 lead after 1 quarter, but it wasn't their offense that put them on the board. It was special teams, and kind of an ominous start for a rookie kicker who just got the call this week for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and Kenny Allen.
Yeah, and for the Calgary Stampeders, obviously a team whose special teams have put up a lot of points for them this season when you look at the return game with Roy Finch, Tunde Adeleke in particular. But this time, another aspect of their punt return team going for the punt block. Terry Williams on the roster in place of Roy Finch, getting the job done. William Longley with the touchdown. So another big one for Mark Killam's special teams unit.
How about Terry Williams? 2 weeks ago, he made his first start at running back for the Stamps, had 3 touchdowns in the game and 155 yards. His next game, 2 weeks later, comes in and has a punt block. Masoli looks one way, now the other, and throws it, and it is picked, and Ciante Evans is taken off with it. Bad toss that time, but Jeremiah Masoli, who had won 3 games in a row without throwing an interception, would love to have this football back. Ciante Evans, little birthday present. Celebrate his 25th tomorrow.
And you'll see this is a long throw from the hash mark out to the wide side, and he can't step into it because he's getting pressure from that right side. Deontay Evans, because of the distance to the throw, because of where the quarterback is, he knows he can sit off a little bit because he's going to have that time to react. Steps up and makes a big play for that Calgary defense.
Former Nebraska Cornhusker who has 4 picks on the season. Mitchell now trying to make the Cats pay some more. Terry Williams scampering right side. Talk about a 1-2 tandem that the Stamps now can provide with Jerome Messam and Terry Williams. 2 very different backs, but they both do the same thing. They can run over you.
Yeah, both produce. We talked with Calgary's running backs coach, Mark Mueller, briefly before the game today, and he talked about just that, the fact that these 2 guys are so different. And it's like you're preparing for the fastball and you get the knuckler.
Mitchell looks one way, then the other. Nice play call. Mark Jordan is short of the first down. And 2nd and 4. They're going to be about 2.5, almost 3 yards short, it looks like. So Paredes will come back out, who had his field goal streak snapped earlier at 18 in a row. Rene Paredes, though, quietly this season has reassumed the #1 overall spot in CFL history as the highest percentage kicker. Just ahead of Justin Medlock, and I have a feeling that could jockey back and forth.
Well, not bad for a guy who was undrafted.
Former Concordia Stinger just squeezes this through. And the Stampeders had a field goal. 3 points off that Deontay Evans interception. And an 11-0 lead. Coming up at the half tonight with Rod Smith, Milton Matty, GMC Professional Gradebook, Henry Burris on the best at running after the catch. And there are a few of them out there. Yak yards. Brandon Banks supplying some of those here tonight. So Hamilton's going to get the ball back, and there's the newcomer, Willie Quinn III. Guy who says he's just lucky to be playing football. House that exploded when he was young in a fire. Florida at the age of 12 and through the years. Came a return demon. Now he's going back the other way. Here he goes, and Willie Quinn, what a move! High stepping.
Speed kills.
Can you imagine if they could put Banks and him back there? Now here is Willie Quinn. Watch this, folks. This is magic at Southern University.
Well, I thought watching Quinn in his CFL debut.
Not a bad tosser either.
Yeah, you see the full package of what he brings to the table here. But, you know, it's not just his speed, but he is so low to the ground and strong on his feet that there is this.
I don't
want to make the comparison, but there's the pinball element to the way he runs.
Well, we might see more of him tonight. Masoli. Jalen Saunders with a high hurdle on the far sideline. Track star has the hurdle and the first down. I'll tell you what, this is a Hamilton team that has a lot of that, a lot of speed, including Saunders.
But it's such a big element in any June Jones offense. Real trademark of the run and shoot over the years. So often has been the small, quick receivers.
Saunders, who played in the NFL with the Jets, also spent some time in New Orleans. Handing it off now to Alex Green. Made his CFL debut a few weeks ago against the BC Lions. It's his third game in BC. He went for 140 yards.
Well, the Ticats certainly a significant part of the CFL's late season trend towards the ground game. CJ Gable coming off his best game of the season before he was dealt to the Edmonton Eskimos. Probably put up over 100 in his first game in green and gold.
Second and a long 3 for the Cats. Masoli wants to throw. Darts one in to Luke Tasker's first catch. Tasker, so good on second down. Brings it close to the red zone near that 20-yard line on a quick hitter from Masoli.
Well, this has got to be a big part of what you do successfully against the Calgary Stampeder defense. Those timing routes, get the ball out of your quarterback's hand quickly. And I think that in combination with Alex Green in that ground game is going to be so important in slowing down the Stampeder front.
One of the Cat leaders. Receptions and also on second down, number 1 on second down. Masoli looked his way again, but now goes over to Saunders once more, who is having some fun with that signage tonight, but that is out of bounds.
Saunders, the number 2 receiver, right on the hash mark. Once again, long throw out to that wide side.
Jalen Saunders is doing some leaping tonight.
Incomplete, no challenge required.
No challenge required. Stamps have dominated early in this ball game, but Hamilton can get right back in it. They have not scored an offensive touchdown against Calgary this season. Masoli now calls his own number. Jeremiah Masoli lunging forward, might require a measurement. And this is what Jeremiah Masoli did in college in Oregon for Chip Kelly, and what he did at Ole Miss as well for the Rebels. His ability to find an opening and use his feet.
Such a terrific dual threat quarterback. It's a lot of unorthodox things about the way Jeremiah Masoli plays quarterback, but he's sure been effective since taking over the helm of these Tiger Cats.
Chip Kelly called it. You go through his progressions. You go 1, 2, 3, and me. It was me that time. Masoli now. Third down. Trying to reset the sticks. Went up high. I'm not sure. That might not have been such a good move going up high like that. On 3rd and 1, they have to get to almost the 13-yard line. We'll see where the spot is. See where the ball was as well.
Yeah, Alex Singleton made contact real early. You see him just tucked in behind the middle of that defensive line.
Well, they give a favorable spot. It's going to be a first down. They give him the spot. And that was a dangerous plunge as we take a look at former Stampeder defensive lineman turned D coordinator Devon Claybrooks.
Sporting that size 8 cap.
Sports it well, doesn't he? Locked it on. Trying to look end zone now as Masoli has Shamar Chambers once more. Little one-on-one challenge with Alex Singleton, who came into this week number 1 in the CFL in defensive plays. What a year it has been for Singleton.
Yeah, quite the monster. And for those who thought Andrew Harris in the chase for 1,000 and 1,000 might be a lock for most outstanding Canadian, Alex Singleton will certainly be part of that discussion in the West Division.
Guy who played his college ball at Montana State. His mom was born in Toronto, hence national citizenship. 2nd and 4. Masoli's got lots of time here. Loads of time. Unloads and almost picked off. Jalen Saunders felt he was interfered with. There's a penalty flag in the end zone. And might this be interference? And might this keep the drive going?
A possibility of illegal contact. The flag is down on the right side of the field where Masoli originally looked.
Number 25, after distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
So that's not on that play. Tommy Campbell.
Right at the bottom of your
screen with Shamar Chambers. That's the penalty call. So half the distance, and the Cats will now go 1st and goal.
Keep an eye on the matchup in bottom right corner of your screen. Feeling that Campbell maybe must have lingered a little bit past the 5 yards. I don't know.
Alex Green trying to score down near the goal line. No signal. That looked like a pretty innocuous little play between Chambers and Campbell. Kept this drive going. 10th play coming up. The long drive. The Cats needing an answer to get on the board. It's been a long time since they scored a touchdown against this Calgary team. Only 1 point back in week 6 in the entire game. Can change it up right here. Solely from the 1 goes shotgun. Hands it off to Green, who scores the touchdown. There's the answer. A long time coming for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Think about the struggles they had against the Calgary Stampeders back in July. I think there's a little bit of redemption and revenge on their minds. Great hole created there by that Hamilton offensive line. Good hard run from Alex Green.
So they will go for 2 here. They will not bring out their rookie kicker for the 32-yard point after. Hamilton team that dead last in the CFL in so many offensive categories, including time of possession. Masoli looking for 2. Decides to dance himself. He's going to have to sprint out. He's not getting there. Pushed out of bounds. But what a drive. Clock eater.
Yeah, Masoli 5 for 9 on that one, covering 51 yards. Nearly 6 minutes off the clock for the Tiger Cats.
Pacific on TSN 1 and 4.
The fisherman friend is here.
All day.
There's Alex Green out of Portland, Oregon.
Try to stick him in. You touch it?
Life is timing. Finds his way in the Canadian Football League. Guy who was a 3rd-round pick of the Green Bay Packers played there. Terry Williams dropped quickly downfield. Little mo going on here as in momentum for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Both the caretaker, Bob Young, and Nancy Smith, the executive director of Interval House here in Hamilton. The Ticats and Interval House have now partnered with a very, very important initiative called More Than a Bystander. Ms. Smith, could you take us through the initiative and how important it is?
Well, we started with our Mentor Action, our group of male leaders in our community who really wanted to make a difference. And we talked with EVA BC and the BC Lions around the Be More Than a Bystander, which really reaches youth in our community and men to talk about healthy relationships and how we can safely intervene and really displace and make a statement about inappropriate behavior, words, and actions will not be tolerated, and really supporting women.
Now, to that point, Mr. Young, we know the connection the Ticats have with the community. This initiative, how does it strengthen that relationship?
So our focus, obviously, is on the community. It was always on kids. And we're just thrilled to have the opportunity to expand that to the women who raise these kids. The great African expression of women hold up half the sky. And as my father would argue, they hold up the most important half. And it's just a thrill to be able to partner with the women's groups of Hamilton to further that mission.
A tremendous initiative. Thank you both. Rod?
All right. Thank you so much, Maddie, and the owner of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Bob Young. By the way, that Interval House initiative, Be More Than a Bystander, gets underway next year with their ambassadors Courtney Stephen, Justin Vaughn, Terrell Davis, and former Cat Mike Moriali. So good on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. That's such an important initiative. And there is Michael, former most outstanding Canadian and a champion here in Hamilton. Rob Maver. Hamilton Tiger Cats got a spark here. This ball coming backwards, bouncing out of bounds, and they're going to get a good starting point, and there's a flag down as well. Another flag down. 2 flags that flew late. One on the sideline. Either something was said or something was done afterwards. 22-yard kick by Rob Maver. Andre Proulx left to sort this out. One flew as the ball bounced out of bounds.
Yeah, it may have been touched by the Ticats before it went out of bounds, and with that contact of the ball, if anyone was within, if any Stampeder was within 5 yards.
And that's likely it. Yeah, right there. That's what that would be. And then the other one came just down the sideline in that little scrum down here.
Yeah, right in front of the Tiger Cat bench. So it'll be interesting to see which way that second one goes, as this could be a real big swing in terms of field position.
Listen up, listen up. Listen up.
Rob Maver, who normally averages about 45 yards a kick, the former All-Star. Also back home, played his college ball at Guelph.
Well, keep an eye right here on number 33, Terrell Davis for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's going to ride Rob Cote out of bounds here. Takes a little bit of a shove in there. The response from Cote right in front of the official.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, make sure nobody in black and white is around. So that's a 15-yarder likely. It's going to be really good field position for Hamilton.
I was going to say this should amount to.
There's 2 fouls on the play. The first foul is illegal interference, Calgary number 35. That penalty will be applied from where the football went out of bounds. This is a 10-yard penalty. After the play was over, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Calgary number 26. Another 15 yards will be added, and it's going to be first down, Hamilton.
So a 22-yard kick at 25 yards after. And Hamilton's getting the ball in better position than when the Stampeders booted it.
Not the kind of twist of fate the Calgary Stampeders are used to. So that illegal interference, typically when a player on a fumble, or as you saw on a punt, when the ball's on the ground and a player is trying to go to recover it, you can't block somebody from trying to recover the ball. So that's what the illegal interference typically is about.
So now a Hamilton team that a couple months ago was spanked by 59 points in Calgary has a chance to take a lead. Stampeders, one of the most disciplined teams in the CFL in the penalty department. 2 tough ones this time. Masoli steps up and lets it go. Tasker has it down near the 2. What a toss by Masoli under pressure.
Masoli gets a little bit of help from his running back, Alex Green. This was one of the worries with C.J. Gable leaving, was that they might miss his blocking. Alex Green did a nice job stepping over to help out. That time allowing Masoli to step up to the inside, allowing him to find Luke Tasker on that slant.
Well, last time down in this area, number 15 got the call. First and goal from near the 2. 15 gets it again, and will he get in? No, just short. So it'll be second and goal now for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Brandon Smith, the halfback, up in run support. As Green gets him halfway there.
Masoli takes it himself and scores. Touchdown, Hamilton. And took a shot. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats throttled the last time these teams met. Have now taken a first half lead.
I think everybody expected this game to be much different than the matchup was back on July 29th. Remember, it was just after that June Jones joined the Hamilton Tiger Cats as a consultant as they were on that Alberta swing. I don't know if anybody expected it to be quite this different with the Ticats moving out in front here in the second quarter.
Masoli, his third touchdown rushing this season. June Jones is going to take a timeout, it looks like, or is he? Yes, he is. Didn't like the personnel out there as they line up for the two-point convert. Hamilton 6 for 11 on two-point attempts. Remember last time they lined up and Masoli took it himself and ran out of room. Well, if you were a betting guy, and I know you're not.
Really not.
And I'm not. Sometimes. Going in this game, and there's still lots of football left, you'd have to say that the Stampeders were prohibitive favorites, decisive favorites. Some concern now from the Stamps, but they know how to answer. Comes the rush again. Masoli has to take off and throw, and he does, and he throws it away looking for Tasker. So another two-point attempt fails, but Hamilton has a 12-11 lead, and Jeremiah Masoli says tonight is much more than revenge.
It's more so about us than it is about Calgary. We kind of got a chip on our shoulder because we've dug ourselves such a deep hole to try to get back in these playoffs, and this is such a critical game for us to stay in the race, to get that playoff spot, and we're basically fighting for our lives, right, for that postseason to get to that Grey Cup. It just so happens that this week it's Calgary.
A team that began the year 0-8. Zach Collaros was the quarterback. June Jones came in. This team has turned it around. By the way, Jeremiah Masoli has done this before to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He almost led them to the Grey Cup game a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, 2015, Zach Collaros injured at the end of the season. It was Masoli who was the starter against Ottawa in the East Division final that year.
.332 to go first half, but we're talking about the Calgary Stampeders as well. No lead is safe. And they've got a lot of bodies back this week in Jerome Messam and Kamar Jordan. They had Devaris Daniels was supposed to play, but was a last-minute scratch. Likely go next week. Kenny Allen boots it down. Terry Williams. Williams bursting outside. Down he goes. Terrell Davis. So now Bo Levi Mitchell. A few plays before the 3-minute warning. Just something that can be said right now is the Calgary offense has yet to score a touchdown in a game where everybody was scoring back in July.
Well, for some of the big numbers that Calgary has put up, I mean, we've seen them in that game with 60, almost hit 60 last time out. It's part of the Terry Williams show, but it hasn't necessarily been a year of massive fireworks per se from the Calgary Stampeders offense. I truly think it's been the defense that has carried them to much of their outstanding record this season.
Mitchell over the top, and an outstanding catch by Mark and Michel in front of Cariel Brooks. Climbing the ladder and bringing it down. 3-minute warning, and the Stamps on the move again. Spectacular catch by number 80.
Rod, Milt, Matt, just relax and getting set for halftime 3 minutes away. Well, it started like the last one, but Hamilton's flipping the script right now. We're talking about what's different and how Jeremiah Masoli can get some help, and also look at playoff scenarios too at the half. Back to Rod Dwayne.
All right, guys, look forward to that. Right now, the Hamilton Tiger Cats surprising this Calgary Stampeder team that started off with a lightning bolt. Block tonight, touchdown. We're moving the football, and they continue to move it here. Try to get it into field goal position, or at least field goal position. Certainly looking to get a touchdown here as Rob Cote hauls it in.
saying earlier, Calgary offensively hasn't lit it up the way people maybe anticipate from this team or expect of a first-place team, but what they have been, very efficient.
Yet they score more points than any other team. They give up less points than any other team. They have the rushing leader in Jerome Messam on first down. Plows his way through the gut. Do you think it's because they're so balanced? And Bo Levi Mitchell is a gunslinger, yes, but also a great navigator. He is a great, great game manager.
Well, that's it, and some would describe him for a guy who's been hailed as a superstar and certainly one of the outstanding players here in the Canadian Football League. But what he does is he does the simple things so incredibly well.
Here comes the heat. There goes Mitchell. And the football against the grain. Malkin Michel on his feet. Down near the 12-yard line. And Bo Levi Mitchell can also get out and do the spectacular. What a throw against the grain.
And here it is once again. Moving right back, throw back to his left. And now, how about the production of Malkin Michel? This is a guy who really got his opportunity when Kamar Jordan got hurt. And in typical Calgary Stampeder fashion, he just stepped right in to replace the league's leading receiver and continued to produce at a great rate.
Mitchell. Kamar Jordan can't hang on. Well, Malkin Michel had an unbelievable start to his CFL career. His first pass targeted to him, he caught for a touchdown and has caught 6 others since then. Jordan can't catch that. So, Cats have been bending. Will they break? Dave Dickinson's going to talk about this. Call a timeout here with, well, maybe not, doesn't have to. There's an injury on the field. Just over 90 seconds to go before halftime. Brad Erdos, the injured Stampeder. But you're right, the plug-and-play capacity, the depth of the Calgary Stampeders has been everything. And this goes back years and years in Cowtown.
Well, you look at the job John Huffnagel has done in his time as the general manager, dating back to 2008, giving up the head coaching portfolio last season to his longtime assistant, Dave Dickinson.
Dave Dickinson off to an amazing start as a head coach, coach of the year last year. 27-3-2 his record as head coach. Cat Den raises the volume here. Here comes the rush. Mitchell now rolling out. It's got room if he wants it. Throws against the grain again. And unable to hang on. Marquay McDaniel.
I'm shocked that Bo Mitchell didn't keep this one himself.
Yeah, he had lots of room. He might have been able to walk to the end zone, and McDaniel's into it down there. A lot of chirping going on. There's no flag on the play, but Bo Levi Mitchell had tons of room if he wanted to. McDaniel didn't like the way he was thrown down to that field turf.
Yeah, the defender didn't realize that he hadn't made the catch.
Abdul Kane. So another drive stalls in the red zone. Dave Dickinson talked about red zone productivity. Rene Paredes gives Calgary the lead again, but trading field goals for touchdowns.
Yeah, settling for a field goal there. And done what you can label as a missed opportunity, whether you argue that McDaniel should have made the catch or Mitchell should have run it in.
Red zone offense tied for 6th in the CFL, despite the fact that 12-1-1. It's almost remarkable. They are a big play team, though. They're number 1 in big plays in the league.
I want you to take a look at this second down play by the Stampeders. Look at all the room in front of Bo Levi Mitchell. If he just keeps running, out to his right. Not a single Hamilton Tiger Cat defender in that area of the field.
Hamilton defense that came in last in the CFL in giving up yardage, last in giving up points, but getting some personnel back. Abdul Kane making some changes defensively. And maybe you've talked about it so often, about belief and confidence. This is a completely different team in terms of the vibe in the locker room than we saw back in July when they lost 60-1 in Calgary.
Yeah, I think there's no question to that there's been a little bit of an attitude change. I think they were able to exhale a little bit.
The little guy, Willie Quinn, is going down. Nowhere to roam. Jeremiah Masoli has some time here to get the Cats into the locker room with the lead again. 10 of 17. The one pick here tonight. Calgary Stampeders have still not scored an offensive touchdown, though.
For Jeremiah Masoli. Minute 18, so it'll be all about managing the clock here for him with a pretty long field to go.
Masoli looking now, has time, count the steamboats. Now he throws against the grain and up too high that time for Jalen Saunders. So here's a second down that's key now because Calgary conceivably could get the ball back with some time.
Incomplete pass, of course, will stop the clock, working in the Stampeders' favor here. And 2nd and 10, we'll see what Devon Claybrooks has up his sleeve defensively for Jeremiah Masoli.
They've been good on second down. Their last 7 attempts, 6 conversions. They load up the box. Here they come. Masoli has to get out of it and throws. And caught by Andy Fantus. They're saying incomplete. Fantus thought he caught the football. Yeah, off the turf. Picked it up off his shoe tops. Good acting job, I'd say. So Calgary will get it back with a minute to go and good field position. Kenny Allen, who's already had a punt blocked here tonight. Off the side of his foot. Adeleke spinning inside the 50. So a couple of plays away from Rene Paredes extending the lead with his foot. 37-yard kick, a 13-yard return from the rookie Adeleke.
And somewhat uncharacteristically here at Tim Hortons Field, really not much wind at this stage of the ball game. So don't need a lot to get inside the range of Paredes.
Calgary team that when they have a lead at the half this season, indomitable, 10-0. They're in a game here tonight, though, so different than last time these teams met. Bo throws deep, over the top, picked. Don Unamba brings it down with 47 to go.
See the skinny poster seam route coming from the outside. Unamba just comes underneath on that long throw. Create the turnover.
Lay the hammer down here in the hammer. So 47 seconds to go.
I damn near was about to hit your ass, so I realized it was you.
Mitchell's 9th interception of the season. Unamba's first as a Cat. 43 to go. I think with this kind of field position, I want to kind of use the clock here. 43 seconds, though. And think about taking a shot. Fantuz scurries back to the huddle here.
A rather precarious position for the Ticats in terms of that time on the clock.
He's going to spread it out here. Keep it on the ground. Use the clock up, or is he going to take a shot? Looks like he wants to take a shot. Goes over the top and misread on the route. Tasker going one way, ball going the other. So 21 to go and third down. A lot of plays being had over this last minute.
Well, it's been an interesting last minute, and if you're the Hamilton Tiger Cats, I mean, you certainly don't want to hand over 2 points in the form of a safety at this stage in the half.
But Adeleke could give them instant field position again. Kenny Allen in his first game hasn't boomed one yet. 21 to go, so Adeleke only needs 10 yards on the return, and they could bring Paredes out for the field goal attempt. Trying to block it. There's his best kick. Adeleke, the midfield strike, breaking outside. Penalty flag on the play, and this might be a break for the Cats. On the return, might be against the Stamps. Push them back.
Ticats punt cover unit did a great job containing Adeleke there.
Nine seconds to go. Don't have time for Paredes, it looks like. Maybe time for one play. Would have to be a real quick hitter to the sideline. But it's going to be a long quick hitter for it. So they're going back.
During the return, illegal block. Calgary, number 87, 10-yard penalty. First down, Calgary.
So you got to throw about a 20-yarder right here.
Yeah,
in about 7 seconds.
Yeah, you've got one play basically to try and get in range for Paredes.
Rory Colehurt penalized. Stamps are going to take that shot, though. Seven seconds left in the half. Mitchell over the top. 4 to go, so moot point now. Incomplete pass.
Well, deep shot or take a knee would seem to be the options with 3 seconds left here for the Stampeders.
They are a big play team. They lead the CFL in big plays. Will they be content to take a knee, or will they try to take this shot? Final play, barring penalty, first half. They're going for it. Mitchell is going down. Adrian Tracy, a sack on the final play of the first half, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats will rush off to that locker room. They're down by 2, but certainly in a lot better shape than they were back in late July. And we've got a ball game here, and maybe a shocker here tonight in the Hammer. As we send it back to Rod, Matt, and Milt in the studio.
Thank you, Rod. You recall that one in late July. It was the Stampeders riding an early special teams touchdown, blowing them open. It was 39-1 at the half, so yeah, we got a close one here. Credit Hamilton, definitely, but Stampeders don't look quite the same.
And the Stampeders, they're up 14-12, but it surely doesn't feel that way. You know, the way they've been playing, these aren't the Stampeders we've been used to seeing all year long. And, of course, it starts with Bo Levi Mitchell. He's not having a great half, but it goes far beyond that. Yeah, the things they are doing, this has been the most dominant team in the CFL. In this first half, they just haven't been playing that way. I talked about Bo Levi Mitchell. This offensive line, this is the best offensive line. They've only given up 17 sacks. Davon Coleman with the sack. And then right here, this punt, this is for 22 yards. And then some undisciplined play, some more penalties tacked on this, resulting in a touchdown for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Their defense hasn't been doing well. They're allowing Mazzoli to get outside. They're allowing some big plays. This is not the Calgary Stampeders team we came to see. They have to get it together. But like I said, the crazy thing is they're still up 14-12.
Yeah.
They're still in the lead.
Yeah.
It'll be dangerous to see what happens, what they can do in this second half.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. You know, is it a much improved Hamilton Tiger Cat football team, or is it the Calgary Stampeders just trying to be too aggressive? In fact, we were talking about at the beginning of the show about how Bo Levi Mitchell, how impressed we have been with him about playing things close to his vest and not really pushing the envelope when you can rely on a defense like that. But here, we saw it in the first half. He is 7-17, 120 yards and interception. He is just missing receivers. He is being very, very aggressive because he's got a couple guys back, right? Kamar Jordan's back in the lineup, along with Mark and Michelle. This throw here, that throw there, you learn in the 5th grade not to make that throw. But Bo Levi is continually trying to push it down the field, trying to make something happen. I think that is very uncharacteristic, and I think that's where the problem lies with the Calgary Stampeders in the first half. They're trying to do something that they're not right now. They are a defensive football team that plays good special teams. They didn't do that in the first half, and Bo Levi is not playing smart football.
The Tiger Cats have a great opportunity early in this second. If they can come out and jump on these Calgary Stampeders early, they have a great opportunity to win this game.
Who among us was thinking when it was 8-0? Oh, here we go again. I'll raise my hand. I mean, good for Hamilton doing what they did. They're down by only 2. We'll be back and talk about playoff scenarios when we come back. Kenny Allen's first CFL punt, blocked, Calgary touchdown. Mazzoli leading them back. 14-12 game.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Home Hardware. Hurry into the Fall Scratch and Save event to save big for 2 days only on October 13th and 14th. Here's how.
We're all trying to save a little cash these days, and separating your 2-ply isn't the best way to do it. Luckily, going to 7-Eleven is. Perrier 500 milliliter 6-pack for just $5.99.
Let's make this fast. Square lets you accept all major credit cards, and now you can take Interact Flash cards too. Fast like this, this, and this. Deposits come fast, like as soon as the next business day fast. For credit, it's one low rate for every insert or tap. And there are no monthly fees. And debit tap processing is free through December. So sign up online, free at square.ca.
Our rum, our bars, our way of saying, you're invited. At the Appleton Estate, we are rum people.
Here's Matty with the stats.
Oh, God, you crazy, Rod. You told me that Calgary Stampeders be winning this football game with 120 yards pass and interception by Bo Levi Mitchell, well under 50% completion. This is the reason why. Right here, 2 turnovers leads to 10 Calgary Stampeder points. Take care of the football.
Here's Bo Levi Mitchell now with Matthew Shinetti.
Bo, certainly some points on the board and some plays left out there. What are the adjustments you have to make at halftime?
Just stay within ourselves, stay together. It's a good test for us coming into the end of the season. So it's good to be in a battle, be in a grind right now against a good football team, playing well on both sides of the ball. So just making sure I see things, let them rip, let those guys go make some plays.
In terms of letting it rip, you have taken some shots downfield. How important is it to stretch their defense in the second half?
Oh, it's big. I mean, they run a lot of man, they run zero. So when they do that, you got to try and punish them by putting it over the top. So we've been successful a little bit early on. We just got to get back to it.
Thanks, Bo.
Appreciate it.
And a little tougher against Philip Lawley's Tiger Cats defense. Much improved compared to the beatdown of 60-1 back in Week 6. We got a game. Second half kickoff is coming up here in the CFL on TSN.
The streaking Calgary Stampeders, looking for their 11th win in a row, have not lost a game this season when leading after one quarter and leading at the half. They've done both here tonight, but it's a slim lead. Here's Matthew Shinetti with Hamilton Tiger Cat quarterback Jeremiah Masoli.
Jeremiah, you're able to get in the end zone in the first half. What do you have to do to keep doing that in the second half?
We just got to take care of the football and keep executing. Our defense is playing a hell of a game right now. Special teams is playing really good. We just got to finish.
And what do you see in their defense you think that you can't exploit?
I'm not going to tell you right now, but we think we can exploit everything. Thank you.
Okay. Love it. Looking to be exploitive is Jeremiah Masoli and June Jones in that Hamilton Tiger Cat offense. It's been their defense, though, that has really kept the Calgary Stampeders offense off the board.
Well, a couple of big plays, particularly the Brooks interception right at the end of that first half.
The guy they call the Little Giant is back. Willie Quinn, former Southern University Jaguar. Rene Paredes kicks off our second half. 2-point ball game. Getting a couple of blocks. Spin by Quinn up near the 36-yard line. And Jeremiah Masoli, like Bo Levi Mitchell, also throwing a pick in that first half.
And Masoli, though, another solid start for these Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Something that Bo Levi Mitchell doesn't bring is that ability to use his feet. So Alex Green scored the touchdown to open scoring.
Masoli, it's another thing Mitchell didn't have in that first half, which was offensive touchdowns.
Hamilton will get to start it up here in the second half. Masoli, double clutch that time. Shimon Chambers tracked down nicely by Jameer Thurman out of Indiana State.
Thurman's a guy who's been a nice find for the Stampeders here in 2017. Bit of a late signing before training camp after a look with the San Francisco 49ers.
Replaced Malik Harris, of course, and Harris got off to a great start on the season before he got hurt.
Yeah, replacing Malik Harris, who's replacing Deron Mayo at that will or weak side linebacker spot.
Second down and 7. Here comes the blitz. The ball's on the ground, fumble football, and sacked is Masoli. Joshua Bell got to him, amongst others.
I was going to say, everybody was coming up the middle. You're going to see Josh Bell. He's going to come A-gap. You're going to see Alex Singleton coming as well.
Safety blitz, and the safety got the sack. So, Michigan University's Kenny Allen, who booted for Jim Harbaugh there. Adeleke has a seam, and Tunde Adeleke still on his feet. Pretty good return up near the 41. 51-yard punt, a 15-yard return. Bo Levi Mitchell. And looking downtown a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, there were a couple near misses as they attempted to stretch the field a little bit, including the aforementioned interception by Carriel Brooks.
Seven of 17. Those are pedestrian numbers for Bo Levi Mitchell. Jerome Messam hardly saw any football in that first half. Keep in mind, Jerome Messam hasn't played in a few weeks. Got some rest the week before the bye. Terry Williams played in front of him. Had a knee issue, had that knee drained, and you wonder if he's still probably shaking off a little bit of rust, and also if that knee is actually affecting him. I'd expect to see a little more Jerome Messam in the second half.
Well, perhaps as this game wears on, and the Stampeders Certainly, particularly in the early going, a little bit of a pass-first football team, but we all know that a steady diet of Messam can tire out a defense in a hurry.
Bo over the top, great catch. Kamar Jordan again snags it up high, right in front of his ex-teammate Osagie Odiasi.
This is Kamar Jordan looking like the guy he was before injury took him out of this Calgary Stampeder lineup. Acrobatic outstretched catch across the middle.
Into Hamilton territory now goes Mitchell. Messam stays into block. And now trouble again for Bo Mitchell, who gets out of that trouble and throws deep. Knocked down by Abdul Kanay, who made the biggest play in the Grey Cup game beyond Ernest Jackson's touchdown catch against these Calgary Stampeders down the road in Toronto last November as a member of the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah, shoestring tackle on Andrew Buckley on 3rd and goal. Mitchell kind of trying to force that one in to Kamar Jordan.
Here's the thing, too, where Dave Dickinson might normal times not use that challenge flag, hold it. If there is any kind of interference and there's no call, he has no ability to challenge in this second half. And there was a whistle before this play got off.
It looked to me like Kamar Jordan was way offside in the slot. You see Kamar Jordan and Simone Lawrence having a chat on their way back to the line of scrimmage. These guys go way back, grew up playing sports against each other as kids and through high school in Pennsylvania. Simone told us a story before the last time these two teams played about them having this rivalry, that they actually got together with all their friends to play a touch football game in the park. It was Simone's buddies against Kamar's buddies. Simone's version, his team won big. We haven't got Jordan's version of the story.
Exactly. Big second down, 2nd and 15. Mitchell again jumps up, steps up, and in and out of Anthony Parker's hands. And this is so uncharacteristic of the Calgary Stampeders. And what we're seeing tonight, too, is Bo Levi Mitchell. That pocket's collapsing on him a lot. He's having to step up and throw that dart. Another incomplete pass.
And there you see it push up the middle from Ted Laurent, forces Mitchell to get on the move. And Anthony Parker just couldn't corral that one.
So used to seeing 300-yard-plus games. Lots of offense from Bo Levi Mitchell. Not here tonight. They might be vulnerable. Maver to Quinn. Gets one block, and now going backwards. Look out here. Adelike's going to chase him down. And Tunde Adeleke says, you know what? I've got some burners, too. Great get by Tunde Adeleke. Born in Lagos, Nigeria, but grew up in the Ottawa area. Drafted 25th overall in this year's draft by the Calgary Stampeders. Tunde Adeleke took one back against Ottawa early in the year, and then against Montreal a few weeks back.
Yeah, it's a young man who's proving to be something of a draft day steal. He ran the fastest 40 in the 2017 CFL Combine, using that speed not just as a returner, but to negate other returners. They're hauling down Willie Quinn. Slow to get up after getting tangled up on this tackle.
Adeleke, who played for Steve Samara and the Carleton Ravens. And speed to burn. We've seen already this season. Saw it in the opening week, and Willie Quinn limps to the sidelines. Again, Quinn coming into the lineup for the second straight game for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Try to get an update on him, see if he returns. And will return. Kicks. Solely play action. Shimon Chambers looking for a block or two. Maybe half the first down yardage for Chambers. Happy to be playing in Steeltown, close to home. His hometown, Markham, Ontario, just north of Toronto.
Keep an eye on Jagaret Davis here, as he's got the free run at Jeremiah Masoli off the edge. You remember a couple weeks ago, Davis had that hit on Mike Riley, a very similar situation where he came in. You know, a lot of talk about a hit to the head, but I thought a good play that time by the defensive lineman to get his head out of the way on contact.
Masoli throwing it. What a catch by Tasker. Huge grab in front of Shaq Richardson on second down, and a big play from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who are last in the CFL in big plays. 30-yard pickup.
You'll see Tasker here a little bit of trying to create a little bit of confusion with the cross motion, but just straight down the seam. Quick hitter as he gets a step on Shaq Richardson. Strike thrown by Masoli.
3 catches, 67 for Luke Tasker. Masoli coming again. And another big catch. Luke Tasker going down low, laying out for this one. Looks like it's going to be second down and about 6 this time. Bit of a wobbler, but Luke Tasker sure-handed. Talked about big plays. Big plays in the CFL are deemed 20-yard plus runs, 30-yard plus catches, and big kick or punt returns. Hamilton just hasn't had many all year long.
Well, trying to right that in recent weeks. We talked about the touchdown strikes thrown to Brandon Banks in their opening series the previous couple games.
Masoli is once again looking for Tasker. Good coverage downfield on second down. They won't convert this time. They'll bring out the kick team.
Yeah, a chance at least for Hamilton in moving the chains a little bit that time to try and swing the field a little bit. It's a good punt here from Allen.
Little reunion night for June Jones, I'm sure. You talked about Jagaret Davis. He also played for June Jones down in SMU along with Bo Levi Mitchell. Taylor Reed played down there, of course. Reed now a member of the Ottawa Red Blacks. A lot of degrees of separation around June Jones. Shortish kick. And big tackle downfield. Jeff Hughes goes gunning. 2-yard return that time. 2-point ball game here tonight on Friday Night Football, game 1 of our doubleheader. Larry Dean, inseparable with Simone Lawrence. With more on the sideline, let's go down to Matthew Shinetti. Matthew?
You know, Rob, when you take a look at this Hamilton Tiger Cats team and the 0-8 start that they had, the fact that they're in this position still fighting for their playoff lives is very much about the personal stories, the tragedies and the trials that many of them dealt with. Larry Dean, for example, while his mother Charity was in prison for much of his childhood, he stayed with his father much of the time. And then when Charity came out, Larry Dean spent time with his mother. But he said staying in shelters when he was young has really informed him now as a football player to understand the things that he cannot control and to be ready to bounce back when he can. He said when you take a look at all the other personal stories and everything else we've dealt with, the fact we've gone 0-8 and now we're back in the playoff push just shows how strong we are. Guys?
Yeah, thank you, Matty. There's a strong guy, Larry Dean, sitting down and chatting with him yesterday about that story as Mitchell does the read option over the top, and Markway McDaniel can't hang on, and there have been a few of those tonight. There's still no whistle. This is still a live football, and Don Unumba's down the sideline. There was no whistle there. McDaniel quit on the play. In fact, almost everybody did except Don Unumba, and could have his second big play of the game here.
Take a look at the timing of the ball coming out here.
Everybody was quitting.
Yeah, McDaniel feeling that he didn't have control of the ball.
Now, because it's a turnover, there's no need for a challenge. Every turnover is reviewed. There is a chance.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a completed pass with a fumble. First down, Hamilton.
What do you think about that, Dwayne?
Well, I'm not convinced that Markway McDaniel ever had control of this football. Like, you're going to see he's juggling it here.
Maybe there. That is, they talk about the bang, bang play. That's bang, bang. Let's see again.
That's by definition.
Doesn't have it there. It has it there. Well, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? He caught it more cleanly than I thought. He just didn't get it put away, but he had it under his arm. Points not covered. Courtney Stephen delivers the hit. Don Unamba with the recovery.
How about this? Now inside the red zone, another chance to turn a turnover into points for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Masoli looking now, pocket moves, on the roll, can't find anybody and has to throw it away. And there was nobody around that area as he was chased down and had to run for his life. James Vaughters in pursuit of Jeremiah Masoli, so the Hamilton Tiger Cats dearly would like to get to the house here after getting that fumble recovery.
Rolling on the field against the ball, never reached the line of scrimmage. We've got intentional grounding on Hamilton number 8. A loss of down from here. It will be second down.
So intentional grounding is the call. It will be second down.
The ball will be placed on the 29-yard line.
So second and long for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Basically have to get to the end zone. They can get it down to near the 4-yard line and go first and goal, but they need a big play in a game and a team that has been short of a lot of them this season. Can Masoli do that? From the 29, second and 26, looked like offside. Free one here, penalty flag down, over the top he goes. Tasker still on his feet. Luke Tasker gets the first down. At least very close to it.
You've got to love the awareness combined with the concentration by Luke Tasker on this play, knowing
Outside. Calgary, number 91. That penalty's declined. It will be second down.
And Tasker knows that Thurman's coming to deliver the big hit.
It looks like they're short, so it's third down here. So third and a yard. Luke Tasker has had a big game here tonight.
And then that great concentration of the combination of the concentration to make the catch knowing the hit is coming, but also the awareness to protect himself once it does come.
Third and one, and shotgun goes Masoli. He's looking to throw. He has his man, and it's incomplete. And a curious call from the Hamilton Tiger Cats on third and one. Obviously thought they saw something, but they're going to give the ball right back and turn it over on downs. Third and one, and an incomplete toss to Tasker. You play golf, you get a mulligan. June Jones would love a mulligan right now, I think, on this play.
Yeah, looking for Luke Tasker going to the flat. This ends up being a pretty long throw coming from just inside the right hash.
If it was a good throw, it was in.
Yeah, I mean, they got Tasker open on that quick flat as the defender had to fight past a couple of other receivers. It works out almost like a rub to the flat, but it's just such a long throw.
Stampeders, shadows of their goal post. Terry Williams. So the Stamps trying to get their offense ignited here. A game where they have not scored an offensive touchdown. Dave Dickinson trying to devise something here on second down. Otherwise, Hamilton could get the ball back again with good field position. Boy, this game is a far cry from the last time these two teams met. Game was over at this point. It was over at the half. Hamilton hanging in. Empties the backfield. Now a little screen and a 2 and out. No flag on the play. Philip Lawley, the defensive coordinator, likes it. And so the Cats will get the ball back. Now, Rob Neighbors going to punt this from inside his end zone.
Yeah, you're talking either great field position or a safety here. I think both Levi Mitchell tried to make the argument that his receiver, Breskison, was interfered with as he was trying to come across for the screen, but it was actually, as you saw, his own guy that he collided with.
Brandon Banks, it's been a long time since he returned a punt for a touchdown. Hasn't been returning the last few games. Willie Quinn's out, though. Maver is going to launch, and a good kick. Banks near his 50. Corral there. And that's where the Cats will start. Down 2, and Banks is hurt.
Of Californication, Showtime's White Famous, starring Jay Farrow and Jamie Foxx, streams October 15th on Crave TV. Find Crave TV in the App Store and get a month on us.
So you just got a free month of Crave TV for that promo read. That was stellar.
White Famous.
They're having some fun here tonight. Here in Hamilton. Folks in the Hammer will have a lot more fun if they can pull an upset here. Now Masoli's got lots of motion here. Alex Green comes up to the line. 1st and 10 for the Cats. Here's the rush. Masoli has his man far side. It's Banks. And Banks is brought down by Seontae Evans. These are long throws to that far side, and they can be dangerous, but it was in the midst of Banks.
And Jeremiah Masoli put a little bit of heat on this one. Banks lined up on the outside this time. Working against Seontae Evans. Free man off the edge on the rush, so Masoli has to get it out in a hurry.
Brandon Banks, 3 for 76 yards in the ball game. Looks like he's all right. Was nicked up a little bit after that punt return, which was really no return. Now Masoli wants to take off with it, calls his number, and Masoli has the first down. 1, 2, 3, and me. Jeremiah Masoli calls his number.
Well, I don't think he had time to worry about 1, 2, or 3 because he was worried about 49 and 95 and 39 closing in on him. Yeah, fear can be a great motivator. Calgary defensive line collapsing the pocket as Masoli takes off for a first down.
Stamps looking to lock down in the red zone. They did the last trip. Now Masoli. And traffic for Saunders. Shaq Richardson there to break that up. So again, another key second down for Hamilton.
Well, blitz well picked up at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Saunders had a step, but nice recovery there by Richardson, a guy who got lots of playing time at halfback early in the season, particularly when Brandon Smith was injured. Stamps had an opening at that nickel linebacker spot. With Joe Burnett down, Richardson has slid right in there seamlessly.
Masoli now slinging right near the goalpost. Laying out, unable to grab it is Brandon Banks. So now the drive stalls, and after all of that, back and forth. Masoli incomplete. Kenny Allen will come out and attempt his first ever CFL field goal. This is from the 27-yard line. By the way, Kenny Allen primarily a punter and a place kicker at Michigan, but more really known for his punting. Those are the numbers at the U of Michigan. He puts it up and he puts it through. 1 for 1 in the CFL. Sergio Castillo on the sideline tonight, I'm sure, cheering him on. And there's Sergio, and woe was him. He was having a terrific season and tore that ACL. And so the Hamilton Tiger Cats are back out in front by 1.
That is Sergio Castillo. Just had that knee give out on him on a plant, running down to cover a kick. Last week in the peg. Leaving the Cats without their kicker, Félix Faubert-Lucier. Finished up handling kicking duties for the Tiger Cats.
Such a big win.
Receiver.
for the Cats last week in Winnipeg against the Bombers. McDaniel. The Stampeders coming off a huge win a couple weeks ago over Montreal. 2 near 60-point outputs this season. One against Hamilton, 59 against Montreal. But only 14 points here tonight. That has been a story. Will it stay that way? Final 2 minutes, third quarter. Bow throws. Michel in front of Cariel Brooks. 6-yard gain.
Mark and Michel continues to be a go-to guy. And we talked to Bo Levi Mitchell a couple weeks ago about Michel's development. You mentioned earlier, Rod, how his first catch went for that big touchdown when he came on in relief of Kamar Jordan in that Hamilton game. Bo Mitchell said making a tough catch like that gave him so much faith in the young receiver. He's had confidence in him ever since.
They give it to Messam, who is going nowhere, and that doesn't happen often. Jerome Messam is stonewalled. Jerome Messam, who ran all over the Hamilton Tiger Cats in their last meeting for 3 touchdowns, was shut down late in the ball game, is running nowhere here, and that is a big stop by the Cats.
Yeah, watch Ted Laurent right on that hash mark, holding his ground at the line of scrimmage, then shedding the block to get in on the play.
Hamilton will put 2 returners back. This will go to Richard Leonard. Leonard tripped up. Long field. Good tackle downfield from the Calgary Stampeders. Dexter Janke down there. So yeah, what a difference for Jerome Messam. Last meeting to this meeting tonight. That has been also a storyline.
Yeah, July 29th, 188 yards, just 25 for Messam tonight on the ground.
Let's go back down to the sideline to Matthew Shinetti for an injury update.
Absolutely, Rod. Just give you an update on Quinn. He was on the sidelines. The Ticats were looking at his left foot. Then they took his shoe off, put ice on it and a walking boot, and gave him crutches. Does not look good, guys.
That's too bad for that young man. Trying so hard to make it north of the border. There he goes. It's heartbreaking. See a player just coming into his own in the Canadian Football League. Brandon Banks now. The guy who's so explosive in Willie Quinn.
And it creates a tough situation for the Hamilton Tiger Cats with Quinn's presence allowing Brandon Banks to focus his efforts on the offensive side of the ball, where he's obviously getting a lot more snaps and a lot more action, a lot more use than he did under Kent Austin.
Could be the final play here of this third quarter. Hamilton Tiger Cats having a rare lead after 3 quarters. Masoli chucks out of bounds. Clock at 0s here. When we come back, Hamilton will be booting it back to Calgary. Stampeders rarely trail after 3, but they're trailing here tonight. It's a 1-point ball game. Hamilton Tiger Cats desperate for a win and trying to end a 10-game win streak by the Calgary Stampeders on Friday Night Football. Calgary Stampeders have only trailed once this season after 3 quarters, and they ended up winning that ball game. They've won 10 straight games, 11 straight games against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who lead this ball game heading to the 4th by a single point. Dwayne Ford.
Well, unfamiliar territory for both of these teams, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats to be in a close game in a situation where they've got to look to close this out. It's been a long time. We go all the way back 2011, September 25th. Touchdown Atlantic.
Moncton, New Brunswick. And it was Kevin Glenn against Henry Burris. Times have changed, have they not?
Well, a couple of guys that have moved around just a little bit since then, trading places, in fact, a couple of years later. But Kevin Glenn leading the Tiger Cats to victory in that one.
Still loads of football left, though, and a Calgary Stampeder team that knows what it's like to win in winning time. Delicae fields the punt at his 45, hit once and twice, and then still lunges ahead. You got to love most about Tunde Delicae is his ability to find the hole, but also to keep scrapping. He's the real deal.
Yeah, a legit returner, and obviously you haven't had a ton of Canadian guys over the years given an opportunity to fill that role. We've seen Nick Dembski at times be the go-to returner in Saskatchewan. But Delicae really getting an opportunity to run with the ball, so to speak, here for the Stampeders in Roy Finch's absence.
Been a good night so far for the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense. Batman and Robin in the linebacking core, and Larry Dean and Simone Lawrence. Bo Levi Mitchell trying to get a spark here. Play action with Messam, now going deep, and in coverage is Michel, who can't haul that in. And that was a good defensive play, because I think that may have altered the sight line at the last minute by Cariel Brooks, and also Asagi Odiasi on Mark and Michel.
Yeah, you'll see Brooks, number 26, come underneath just at the end of the play. Not sure if he got a hand on it, but certainly affecting the concentration and focus of the receiver.
Calgary team that still has yet to put a ball in the house offensively tonight. Only touchdown on a punt block. Mitchell over the top. Oh, what a great catch by the former Hamilton Tiger Cat, Marquay McDaniel. Two guys on him, and somehow, in tight traffic, Marquay comes away with it.
That guy who's had a pretty quiet night thus far. You see that McDaniel, veteran receiver, turning the body to protect the ball from the free safety, Steven.
Play action again, slant to McDaniel, who is their most clutch receiver. Marquay McDaniel. Big, big play. And that was the play before, which was in such a tight window. Messam gobbled up. Adrian Tracy, first contact. Big stop for a loss. Trying to get Calgary to field goal attempt at the very least.
Adrian Tracy was a guy who, for the first half of the season, had a lot of trouble getting on the field. And Hamilton, as they were trying to figure out the ratio with starting a Canadian, Justin Capicotti, at one defensive end spot. Tracy was stuck behind John Chick at the other slot.
2nd and 13. This has been McDaniel time, but this is way outside. Had to be 5 or 6 yards offside. Did Adrian Tracy jump first?
Yeah, see who flinched first. You see Jordan coming
Tracy.
into the picture.
Adrian Tracy jumped. Kamar Jordan was way offside too, but Tracy went first.
Offside. Hamilton, number 5, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Terry Williams checks into the Calgary backfield in place of Jerome Messam. There have been a couple times tonight where they've actually had both backs on the field together.
Been one of those subpar nights for the big back, Jerome Messam. Williams is in the backfield right now. Likely a throwing down, though, for Bo Levi Mitchell on 2nd and 8. There he goes, rears back and tossing it up, and Michel gets pasted by Donald Unumba. But Mark and Michel knows that that was a ball that he should have caught.
Yeah, there have been a few Calgary drops in this ball game tonight. With Williams shooting out to the flat, it opens up a bigger window on the inside.
Yeah, for all the spectacular ones that Mark and Michel has made, that did not require any theatrics.
Yeah, certainly one he'd like to have back.
So Rene Paredes missed his first attempt of the night, ended a streak of 18 in a row. This one from 36. As we go back and forth here, and once again the Stampeders jump back in front. Calgary getting field goals tonight, but no touchdowns, and a few drops tonight for the normally reliable Stampeder receivers on Friday Night Football. The stretch we go as the autumn leaves fall. The temperature starts to dip, but the races heat up. Drive to the playoffs, and Hamilton trying to stay alive here. A win would go a long way to keep them going. Shamad Chambers on the hitch, and he's brought down hard by Jameer Thurman. Close to a first down, 9-yard pickup.
Shamad Chambers having a busy night in that Hamilton receiving corps, former first-round pick. The Edmonton Eskimos guy who's battled injury a little bit over the last couple of years.
Trips left, 33 max, dog please, on one.
They're gonna heavy hit that time. Pancake by Jameer Thurman. Well, second down and 1. It's a rush again. Masoli, quick release. Caught, first down. Saunders. It's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out, and if we ever have to go back to that play at the goal line where Masoli misfired to Luke Tasker, and they didn't get any points.
Well, in a similar situation there, not a third down, obviously, but a second down, second and short. Yeah, going out to that wide side flat when all they need is a couple of yards.
It will be 1st and 10, though, for the Cats. Looking to win tonight. A loss tonight. A win by Ottawa and Saskatchewan in the second half of our doubleheader would eliminate the Cats. Look out here. Brandon Banks down the sideline. His biggest play tonight. Speedy B told me yesterday, June Jones has been Santa Claus for him. It's been Christmas Day every day.
Yeah, seeing a lot more action in that Tiger Cat offense. You get to see him use some of those kick return moves after the catch and that hitch screen.
Past the century mark tonight, 100 yards for Brandon Banks. See if he figures in this drive here inside the 40. Masoli again. Now he has to scramble. Rolls out. May have to throw it away. He does, but it's caught near the line of scrimmage. Jalen Saunders may pick up a couple yards here. Looks like he got 2 or 3, so it's going to be second and throwing down again for the Cats. We're now in field goal range, but keep in mind they've got a rookie kicker in Kenny Allen, who might have to come out at the end of this game with the pressure on.
Certainly.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah, tough circumstances for Kenny Allen.
Rare number for a kicker, huh? 91. Big leg, though. Masoli moving the pocket once more. Against the grain he goes, and it's Saunders again. First down. Well, one way to take the pressure off your kicker is try to take it to the end zone. Down to the 22-yard line, they move the sticks on a 13-yard reception from Saunders.
Well, you'll see how the effect that Luke Tasker has. Tasker's going to end up pulling coverage over to this side of the field. A couple of defenders go with him. That opens up room for Saunders to then slip into that window right behind him. Tasker goes first, clears it out, pulls 2 defenders in that direction. Easy completion to Saunders in behind.
Double tight end set this time. They'll keep it on the ground for Alex Green, and might be the first running play of the second half from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who have gone to the air almost every single play.
And I thought they had, in terms of runs in the regular field, not in goal line short yardage, decent success running the football. I'm surprised they haven't looked that way a little bit more.
Well, will it be Luke Tasker in this situation? He's been the go-to guy on second down. A quiet night for Andy Fantuz. Where do they go? Rasoli to Saunders, who can't hang on. So now they look to the sideline, and here comes the rookie kicker in his first game, who is 1 for 1. Not a long kick for him, just a 26, 27-yarder. June Jones said Kenny Allen is one of those athlete kickers. Look at the size of him, 6'3", 225. Again, the Michigan Wolverines to make it our 6th lead change of the night. Tasker the hold. Kick is up, and it is right down Main Street, and a penalty flag. 2 flags down on the play. So let's see, sort this out. Looks like it might be against the Stampeders. Hamilton signaling that. It is against the Stamps. So Andre Prue's going to come over and talk with June Jones. But what he wants to do here on the call, will the yardage be enough for a first down on this penalty call, or do they, if it's 3rd and 4, do they just take the field goal and decline it?
In the previous play, we had procedure pyramiding Calgary number 25. That penalty's declined. The field goal is good.
So that's exactly what happened. It would have been 3rd and about 3, so they take the field goal by the rookie. And Hamilton jumps on top by 1 again.
Well, you heard the call against Tommy Campbell, pyramiding. And you're going to see number 25 for the Calgary Stampeders on the snap in an attempt to block the kick. Climbs on his teammates to gain a little bit of extra height. There you see him kind of springboarding off defensive tackle Michael Clausen in the A-gap.
So now Bo Levi Mitchell. Still loads of time left. Under 7. Stamps. A rare deficit. There's a nice pass to Markway McDaniel. Up near the Hamilton 50. Daniel wincing as he tries to get to his feet here. And Bo Levi Mitchell just fires a strike.
McDaniel wide open across the middle.
But he's down on one knee, McDaniel. Simone Lawrence tried to strip the ball and landed awkwardly. On that left knee, that's all they need right now.
There's the clutch guy for Bo Mitchell.
They not only need him tonight, but down the road. We'll step aside and come back to Tim Hortons Field in Steeltown. In the CFL West. Markway McDaniel going to that bike. Looks like he might be all right. They're going to need him. 1st and 10. Pitching it out here to Terry Williams. They commit to the ground, and he has a big gain up near the 30-yard line. And Williams looking like he did a couple of weeks ago against the Montreal Alouettes when he ran for 155 yards. Williams might have put his hand here. He's going slowly to the sideline, holding his arm. Shaking his head.
Williams with that great acceleration around the outside, still running the pursuit angles of the defenders.
Huge run, puts them in immediate field goal position. Well, it could come down to the guys with the legs tonight. Bo, near sideline, nice grab. Rory Colhart, former Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
Yeah, a guy who actually started his CFL career here at Hamilton. University of Saskatchewan product.
Just his 6th catch, Dwayne, as a Stampeder.
Nice effort on the sidelines to get that foot down.
Here's how Williams got hurt.
Put his hand on the landing.
Awkward. Jammed it looked like. Mitchell throwing on 2nd and 5. Now he's chased. And Mitchell throws a wobbler. It is caught. What a catch. What a catch by Kamar Jordan. How did he grab that football? Goes up high, brings it down. That is the epitome of high point receiving.
Well, this is one where you see him go up and get his hands on it. You're almost expecting somewhere in that wrestling match on the way down for the ball to pop out. But Jordan able to squeeze it and hold on.
Squeezes that one and holds on. Had a couple of drops here tonight as he returns to the lineup for the first time in a long time. And now the Calgary Stampeders will go for 2. Trying to make this a 7-point game. There's the play of the night so far. Kamar Jordan. Missed the last 8 games after playing the first 6 in the season. And we have a whistle here. This play is not getting started. Stamps finally get an offensive touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
Time violation. Calgary number 19. 5-yard penalty. The convert will be retried from the 8-yard line.
Stamps are 5 of 9 on 2-point efforts this season. Dickey was looking at that play clock, wanted a timeout. Never got it. So now the 8-yard line is where they're going to try for 2. And Mitchell throws it in again for Kamar Jordan. Successful 2-point convert. The Calgary Stampeders now jump out in front by 7 with 4.5 to go. Boy, it has been a grind here tonight, but the Calgary Stampeders are 4.5 minutes away from making it 11 wins in a row.
A rock-solid couple minutes there from Kamar Jordan and his return to the Stampeder lineup.
Hamilton Tiger Cats, when talking to them yesterday, they knew you stay close with this team, but you got to be careful because Bo Levi Mitchell has the weapons, his arm and his receivers.
Well, we talk about it all the time. When you're playing against the best teams in this league, your margin for error is so narrow. You can't have a single play off for teams like Calgary, teams like Winnipeg. They'll make you pay in a hurry.
Right in front of his ex-teammate Asagi Odiasi. And then this one was much easier. Jordan with the 2-point convert. So 7-point ball game.
Ain't no fall off. Welcome back. Ain't no fall off. I'm here. Let's go.
Well, he is here. Big catch here tonight. Now Brandon Banks trying to burst outside, going backwards and wrapped up and ripped down.
Dexter Janke with the tackle.
Former 5th-round pick. Janke, another special teams tackle here tonight. It's a long field now for Jeremiah Masoli. Hamilton Tiger Cats clinging.
Don't sleep on me. I told you ain't no fall off. Right back where we left off. Let's go.
Can Jeremiah Masoli answer now? Biggest lead in the ball game was 8 early on, an 8-0 lead by the Stamps. Masoli make that 11-0 lead by the Stamps. Oh, look out over there. Brandon Banks goes into our camera crew. There's Christian over there. He's used to that. Works NBA games as well, usually, but not the guys. They don't wear padding. This is a lot harder. Banks takes out our cameraman on that far sideline. I'm afraid to look what that shot looks like.
Well, good of Brandon to break the fall of the camera here.
He's Christian. He's a gamer, I'm telling you. Look at, he's worried. There you go. Worried mostly about the player. Now Masoli calling his number on first down. Clock ticking down to the 3-minute warning. The Cats must score and convert to tie.
Well, they've managed to hang with the Calgary Stampeders all night here, back and forth in terms of who's held the lead in this ball game.
So getting close to the 3-minute warning. Are they going to call it here? Yes, they are. So the Hamilton Tiger Cats down 7. Wonder what it looks like from Christian's camera. Here's Brandon Banks in high def. Yeesh.
Coming up, part 2 of our doubleheader from Saskatchewan. It is Trevor Harris and the Red Blacks up against the Riders. An Ottawa win and a Hamilton loss would put the Red Blacks in the playoffs, and the Ticats would be eliminated. Very critical for Hamilton right now as we go back to Rod and Dwayne.
It is crunch time here, Rod, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Cats with 9 lives. This could be close to number 9 here this season. Might have been offside. Second down might push the Cats back here even further, or did Calgary move?
Calgary
moved.
39, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Second down, but second and short now. Much more manageable for the Tiger Cats. Charleston Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes salivating at that second and long, wanting to be quick off the mark. Looking to make a play. Ticats make a last-minute adjustment to their personnel, going from the big team in this short yardage situation back to their traditional 5-receiver set.
And again.
Illegal procedure. Hamilton number 66, a 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So both teams a little jumpy here. Calgary team, by the way, also the verge of possibly clinching home field advantage in the West Division Final this weekend. Such a sensational season. Under 3 minutes away from their 13th win of 2017. This one's not coming easy, though. 3-man rush. Masoli steps up, and Alex Singleton sees him. And then Jeremiah Masoli got hammered. And there's a roughing the passer call here. This will keep the drive going at 15 on here. As he threw the football, he got leveled. Right in the helmet, it looked like Jameer Thurman had intent to hit Masoli, but he got rid of the football before he got there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the position that Thurman's in when he hits Masoli, and I think the call here is for coming in high, but I think he's in a position where he's not trying to hit him high. You've got a quarterback who's on his way down, and Thurman kind of pulls up, but it's, in my opinion, unfortunate, not just in this instance, but in general, that they never call based on intent.
Jeremiah Masoli calls his number, and he gets hit again. Taking a lot of shots here. Masoli this time past the line of scrimmage, so it's second down and a throwing down for the Cats, running out of time.
See, any of these high hits on the quarterback.
That was helmet to helmet.
But I honestly think this is a situation where you look at the position he's in, it's not like he's laid out like a torpedo targeting his head. I think he's honestly trying to pull up, and you've got a guy who's getting knocked forward into him.
Yeah, it was an accidental collision, but
it's a black and white call. It's the right call based on what the rules are.
Well, they changed this up, and Alex Green has room. Boy, I thought it was a throwing down here, and Alex Green on a good play call from the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Well, the Tiger Cats haven't run the ball much here in the second half. I count maybe a couple of carries for Alex Green, but well-timed draw play here for the black and gold.
Two minutes to go. Tim Hortons Field was silenced by Kamar Jordan. Now they're pumping up that volume again. Here comes that blitz once more. Masoli using his feet. Now has to throw it and tried to peg it in there. Incomplete for Shamad Chambers.
Get noticed like a pro in the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition.
Biggest game of the year right now, biggest moment of the year for Jeremiah Masoli and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 3 games left after tonight for the Cats. If they can somehow scrape out a win, play Montreal, Ottawa, and Montreal. Say they like their chances down the stretch. But in their way, the red and white horse. Masoli's got time. Now slinging. He's got his man. And Jalen Saunders inside the 5. Here come the Cats.
I'm just in disbelief in this situation at how much time Jeremiah Masoli had to throw the football. Look at all the space in front of him. Look at the time to step up and deliver this strike to Jalen Saunders.
So now 1st and goal, 40 inside the 5-yard line with 1:38 to go. Ticats on the threshold of a touchdown. They need the point after to tie. Masoli goes behind center this time. Option play to Green. And he fumbled the football. Never got to him, it looked like. And the worst possible play because Alex Green had free reign to the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, this with the option play, what you're trying to do is you're trying to isolate the contain guy, the end man on the line of scrimmage, put him in a bind. They're leaving him free because he can only take either the quarterback or the running back. He takes Masoli. Green's wide open. Right decision by Masoli. The toss is good. Green just dropped it.
Green was looking to run first, it looked like, seeing that corner. So now a critical 2nd down and goal from the 12. Sends out 4 receivers to the left. Masoli stands in, throws it up, jump ball! Jalen Saunders, and you wonder here if June Jones might be challenging. One-on-one battle. It's going to come down to a 3rd down. And June Jones is challenging through the yellow challenge flag.
Now from that angle, we kind of pick it up late. From that angle, it looked like a pretty good play by Jamar Wall to me. See if we can pick it up a little bit earlier to see if there's any kind of grab or contact.
Hamilton is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe that there was an illegal contact on the receiver, Hamilton number 89. The play will be reviewed.
Jalen Saunders kind of hoping and praying as well on the verdict of this one.
So we'll keep an eye on Jalen Saunders, the number 2 receiver, to the field here. That 4-man set working right down the hash against halfback Jamar Wall.
Well, the crowd's watching it on the big screen. Boy, it looked like it was almost again, simultaneous.
Yeah, you slow it down enough.
Well, you see
he's there early, but
and
to me,
if it is slowed down, they are seeing that back at CFL Command, which means that might be some evidence. I know what you're going to say.
Say it.
I know. If you're calling that, you're going to call them all.
I mean, if you need to put it in super slow motion to determine that the guy was there early, then he's not there early. Otherwise, you're making life impossible to play defense.
Now his hand did hit his helmet there on the way up. That might be the evidence. And that's from super slow-mo, albeit, but he's even pointing to his helmet, felt that he got interfered with on the helmet in the back of the head. So this one's in front of command, and this is a critical challenge. Call on the field, incomplete pass. To overturn it would have to call it interference.
Well, regardless, it's a challenge, a flag that June Jones has to throw. He's saved it until this point in the game. Critical play. We'll take another look at that reverse angle.
Right here. Watch
the back of the head.
Right there.
A bump by the right arm of Wall to the back of the head. I mean, to me, that's the only basis on which you can call it, because the timing, if you're going to start making an issue with that timing, then cue the track meet.
Well, again, the crowd watching it, you can tell the 20,000 are simultaneous.
Yeah, you slow it down enough.
You see
he's there early, but
and
to me,
if it is slowed down, they are seeing that back at CFL command, which means that might be some evidence. I know what you're going to say.
Say it.
I know. If you're calling that, you're going to call them all.
I mean, if you need to put it in super slow motion to determine that the guy was there early, then he's not there early. Otherwise, you're making life impossible to play defense.
Now his hand did hit his helmet there on the way up. That might be the evidence. And that's from super slow-mo, albeit, but he's even pointing to his helmet, felt that he got interfered with on the helmet in the back of the head. So this one's in front of command, and this is a critical challenge. Call on the field, incomplete pass. To overturn it would have to call it interference.
Well, regardless, it's a challenge, a flag that June Jones has to throw. He's saved it until this point in the game. Critical play. We'll take another look at that reverse angle.
Right here. Watch
the back of the head.
Right there.
A bump by the right arm of Wall to the back of the head. I mean, to me, that's the only basis on which you can call it, because the timing, if you're going to start making an issue with that timing, then cue the track meet.
Well, again, the crowd watching it, you can tell the 20,000 or so amateur officials in the crowd. Still awaiting official decision. If it's not overturned, it's a ball game play. 3rd down and goal. 57 to go, 7-point ball game. Tiger Cats clinging to life. And will they rule that this is interference in the end zone?
Again, there was that contact.
Here's the call.
After review, defensive pass interference. Calgary.
Oh, the Stampeders sideline. Can't believe it. Down to the 1. Ball game still on here in every way imaginable. And so June Jones holding that challenge flag to the very end. Had to throw it. Jamar Wall argues it. Dickinson can't believe it. The Tiger Cats still breathing.
Well-played challenge flag. Now it's up to the Ticats to capitalize from the 1.
Sully shotgun. Hands it off to Green, and he is in. No signal. No signal. Maybe he's not. Nope. No touchdown. And no, he's down.
Backside touches down.
Good
right
call.
There.
And even if it was, no challenge as well. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it might actually help the Hamilton Tiger Cats using up a little clock here, if you know what I mean.
Well, exactly. Not wanting to give the Calgary Stampeder offense too much time to work with to attempt to retake the lead.
2nd and goal, but you know what already happened down in this area? Came away with nothing. Try it again. This time, penalty flag though. Let's see what the call is as Alex Green scores. And the pressure is going to be on the young kicker again, Kenny Allen.
Offside. Calgary, the defensive line. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So now Kenny Allen, who has not attempted a 32-yard point after in his very brief CFL career, which is exactly 1 game tonight.
Well, what better time to start than with 36 seconds left?
They went for 2 on their previous 2 touchdowns, remember, and came away empty.
Trailing by a point, so the Ticats.
How about the pressure on this kid? 32 yards, point after, to tie the game, potentially send it to overtime. The kick is up, and it is good. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats have tied this ball game. There's still some time for Bo Levi Mitchell, though, to put this into field goal position. Not a lot of time, but he's done it before.
And again, essentially no wind for Paredes to attempt the kick here.
Career long for Rene Paredes is 52 yards. This season, just 9 of 13 beyond the 40 coming into this game. 0 for 1 beyond the 50 this season. Key for the Cats here is not to allow a return and kick it deep. Now again, emphasis on the young kicker Kenny Allen in his first CFL game, who had a very auspicious start, by the way. Blocked punt that went for a touchdown. The replacement for Sergio Castillo. Got a nail biter here in the Hammer tonight. Allen, big kick. Terry Williams looking for some field position. Smash downfield. Nikita Whitlock. 30 seconds for Bo Levi Mitchell to put this in field goal position and try to escape Hamilton with the W.
Well, look down at the bottom of that screen. Bo Levi Mitchell has never lost against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Mitchell tonight 17 of 32, so just barely over 50%. 260 passing yards, a touchdown and interception. Couple of drops for sure by Calgary receivers in this one, hurting those numbers.
30 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. Mitchell stepping up, going over the top to Mark, and Michel makes 1 miss. That only ate up 7 seconds. So now 2 more of those like that.
There's an injured Tiger Cat in behind the play. I think that's Davon Coleman.
Paredes, pressure will shift back to him. We could even get into one of those booted out situations, depending on how far the Stamps go. But 22 seconds, there's also a very good chance we could go to overtime. Calgary Stampeders no stranger to that. Early in the season, game 1, as a matter of fact. Tie to begin the year. Working on that knee right now. Boy, this has been some ball game, hasn't it? A little bit different than the one late July. 60-1. Redemption in the minds of the Cats here tonight. Streak on the line for the Calgary Stampeders. Michel lined up near side of your screen, just at the bottom. Against Carriel Brooks. They need about 30-35 yards to get in field goal position for Paredes. Three-man rush. Bo now, just out of the backfield. Adrian Tracy on top of Anthony Parker. 11 seconds to go, so this is time is the enemy now for the Stamps. So what do you think here? 40, like, do you try to stretch one here?
Yeah, you've got to take one deep shot here, I think.
One deep shot here, though. Even if you catch it, you'd have to probably take it to the house, or maybe even try to punt the football and put a ball into the end zone in a single, which is not entirely out of the equation. If the clock is running down. Let's see what happens here. Need about a 9-second play to get to the 45 of Hamilton. Bo hanging in now, circling back, and Bo Levi Mitchell wants to chuck it deep. He's got his man, he's wide open, and now there's an interference call. Can you believe this? An interference call is going to take this ball down to the 10, and Rene Paredes can come out and win the ball game.
Well, as the saying goes, you throw the football.
Defensive pass interference. Hamilton, number 22. Automatic first down, a point of foul for Calgary.
They completely lost Anthony Parker. If you watch this play, though, Parker was about 20 yards by himself, and that's why Courtney Stephen and Don Unumba had to race back and got into that situation.
You know, but it's such a long throw, they had time to recover. You saw they were able to completely get into position.
Just when it looked like overtime. Just when it looked like the Hamilton Tiger Cats still had life and go to overtime. Rene Paredes, chip shot for victory for the Stampeders, who steal one in Steeltown. How about that finish? Bo Levi Mitchell. And how about the irony? An interference call against Hamilton that brings a touchdown on an overturn challenge, and an interference call the other way that leads to the game winner by Rene Paredes.
Yeah, you know what they say about payback. Bo Levi Mitchell, great escape move to get out of the pocket, to put himself in a position to throw that deep ball to Anthony Parker.
Bo Levi Mitchell, the guy brought him to SMU, June Jones. Knows how good Bo Levi Mitchell is and how good he was here in the final seconds tonight, throwing it downfield. The Hamilton Tiger Cats now have to sit and wait. Ottawa plays Saskatchewan. If Ottawa wins, the Cats are done. Calgary Stampeders have now won 11 in a row, 12 in a row against the Cats. Here's our Nissan Titan player of the game.
Well, the last time these two teams met, the Stampeders won big, but this guy didn't finish the game, Kamar Jordan, but he was sure around when the Stampeders needed him tonight. 5 catches, 58 yards, the biggest of which you just saw, an acrobatic fourth quarter touchdown catch that gave the Stampeders the lead. Kamar Jordan is tonight's Nissan Titan player of the game.
What a grind for the Stampeders. Still find a way to win. That's all that guy does. Bo Levi Mitchell. 28-25, Rene Paredes, the game-winning field goal. Interference call late. And the Stampeders run their record to 13-1-1. Win 13 on Friday, the 13th. So the Hamilton Tiger Cats now wait for the winner of the second half of our doubleheader as we send it back to the studio.
Thank you, Rod. So heartbreak in Hamilton, and yes, now they need Saskatchewan to do them a favor and beat the Ottawa Redblacks. Part 2.